Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is KairoS, and welcome back to Naval Action, where I've been happily leveling up on the Caribbean server, and I've actually got a pretty good way in. It's been a lot easier for me to level up this time round. I didn't know what I was doing the first time. Now, second time round, it's in 2 weeks I've probably made as much progress as I made in 2 months, simply because I have an idea of what I'm doing and where I'm going. So that's that's been surprising to me, but I'm now at the point where I can craft my favorite ship in the game, the Gros Ventre Refit. So this is going to be a bit of a ship review video. I don't think I've ever done one of these before. But this is my favorite ship in the game, and I think she is the most unique ship in the game as well. I'm actually surprised more people don't use her. The Gros Ventre Refit is basically a hybrid between a trade ship and a warship. This is the ultimate pirate ship, in my opinion. We're going to be building one for speed. You could do a teak white oak or even a live oak white oak if you wanted to, or something teak sabaku, something more combat focused. But honestly, this ship shines as a trade ship and a trade hunting ship. This is the ship we're going to take out to hunt down other LGVs on the open world and get ourselves some loot. And also we want to be able to run away from players who will want to steal that loot off us. So we're going to be building this ship out of the old Bermuda Cedar S. Bermuda Cedar S. You could also do Riga and New England Fur, I believe, if you wanted to make it even faster, but that's going to be a really expensive ship. And until... I'm not going to build one of those until I've got my port bonuses maxed out. So we're going to build ours out of Bermuda Cedar S, Bermuda Cedar S. And this is the first one I've built on the Caribbean server, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. Now, you cannot capture these, I don't think. You don't find these on the open world, unfortunately, so they are not a capturable ship. So this is what you're going to need here to craft one of these things, at least I think shipyard level 2 and experience level 3 for crafting. Either that, or you're going to have to get somebody else to craft one for you. If you find a permit out in the open ocean, you can bring it back and say, hey, could somebody craft me one of these, please? And I would recommend building it for speed, which is what we're going to do right now. So let's see what we get. We're going to craft our first Gros Ventre Refit. Let's see if we get anything good. Boom, we got Agile. Ha, very nice. Now that's funny because my original LGV Refit had Agile as well, the first one I ever built. So you know what, I'm going to give this ship a name. Over on the what do I play? What's it called again? Sea of Thieves, that's right. My sort of main trade ship over there is the Andalusian Dawn. So we will call this ship affectionately the Andalusian Dawn. And she has been built. So let's go and see what she looks like. I'll just close these down. And we'll go into the Navy. She should be in here. Here she is. She's an absolute beauty. And apart from being so unique, she looks wonderful. I love that dark color scheme with the white stripe here and the red highlights. Really a lovely looking ship. Quite distinctive on the ocean, unfortunately. You see one of these, you know what it is. You can make her less distinctive by painting her up to be a bit more like a regular trade ship. I'll actually show you. Let's go to our redeemables here. And let's go to... We'll do a Norseman 5-3 here and just do a sort of naval action painter moment here. And we'll actually go to the 5th rate, the Gros Ventre Refit, and we'll have a look at the different color schemes you can actually paint this thing in. So we have the standard one, obviously, which is actually my favorite, believe it or not. We also have the Gros Ventre Refit Pirate. Very cool. You get a very similar color scheme to the base LGV, but you get a slightly more muted, dirty, well, pirate-looking ship. And this, at a distance, looks a bit more like a regular LGV. If you pull back there, you might not notice immediately. It's more muted colors. So this would be my second preference to the base color scheme for this ship. We also have Classic White, which is also quite a lovely color. these are very unique. This is one reason I like this ship, is the color schemes seem to stand out. They don't look like anything else in the game. You've got this weird kind of natural wood here, this darker, more chocolate colored sort of hull, and this dirty grayish white along the side here with actual modeled. They've actually bothered to model the grime of, as rain comes onto the deck, you can see the grime marks down here, which I just love, and a fairly plain looking stern. Another really good option if you're a pirate player like me and you want to look like your ship is a real pirate ship. We have the malted as well. Not one of my favorite colors. I think this is a little bit too much in the way of stripes here. This makes me think of a boiled sweet or something, this color, but I quite like it. It's a good combination of colors. It's just not my favorite, and you get a little bit more. I think you get a little bit more. Maybe the stern's similar actually, but it's mostly this extra line here and the lighter color brown. Otherwise, it's similar to the classic white. And the last color is the classic gray, which is also a really cool color. A little bit cleaner. If you're a British player, or a French player, maybe you want a cleaner looking ship, one that looks more like a proper trade ship, you might want to go for this. But believe it or not, I actually like the base color. So I'll probably just keep it like this for now. I like this thin stripe here. Eventually I might paint her, but for now we're just going to keep her like that. And now I'm going to put a cut in here and go looking for some upgrades for her. Alright guys, I think I have an idea what we're going to be doing as far as upgrades are concerned for this ship. I did forget to mention earlier, and I noticed as I was looking in the pirate den here for upgrades, you can actually get a LGV refit note if you want for 50 combat medals. I wouldn't recommend doing this because you don't have any say as to how this ship is going to turn out, and crafted ships are probably going to be better. If you have the option to craft one, save your combat medals and either build one yourself or get someone else to build it for you. I also forgot to mention earlier that you can obviously capture these off other players, but you won't find them on the open world as AI. So yeah, build one yourself. That's pretty much the best way to get them. But I think I know what we're going to do for upgrades. This is the Northern Carpenters. This is a good choice. Obviously, Northern Master Carpenters is going to be better, but this will have to do, considering that I haven't got that far into the game yet. Now, this upgrade here is definitely worth the combat medals. We want this Navy hull refit. This is a fantastic speed mod, extra 2% speed, and no negative modifiers at all. So let's get one of those, and we're going to be popping one of those on. I have no idea where it's gone. It's probably gone into the warehouse. Yeah, let's just put it here so we know what we're doing. I also have a quadrant somewhere in the upgrade chest here. We could use that as well. We could do that and make it even faster. So we've got repairing and speed, or we could do what I think I'm probably going to do instead, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using this ship for quite a lot of boarding action. So normally I'd probably do that, but with what I've got, that's probably a pretty good choice. But considering I know I want to be boarding and I don't really want to lose this ship, I think we're going to want some boarding mods, or a boarding mod. So to do that, I'm going to actually have to come into my academy. I could buy one of these mods, but they're expensive at the moment, and I can craft one myself, so I might as well do it. We're going to have Nassau boarders. Not as good as Nassau fencing masters, but again, this is early in the game for me, so this will do for now. We're going to craft one of these because I've got the quartermasters and doubloons necessary to do so. So we'll craft one of those when the game wakes up. Hello, internet, come back to life. The joys of gaming in Australia. What can I say? There we go, one Nassau border. And now, probably once again in the warehouse, there we go, that's what we're going to be doing. So let's actually put those on. Got her here. Going to put the carpenters on. This will increase her repair ability and time. This is really good mod for repairs. We want one speed mod, and you'll see this bump up. There we go. She's now just that little bit faster. If I had an extra slot, I would put an extra speed slot in, but we don't, so we're just going to have to settle for one boarding mod. Probably don't necessarily need this. You could make an argument for another speed mod, but I do want that Nassau border there, just to make sure I don't lose any boarding actions. And there we go, there she is. Nice and ready to go. A pretty decent build for somebody who's been playing on the server for a grand total of close to 3 weeks now. Not bad at all. And so now all we have to do is kit her up with the necessary provisions, hull repairs and sail repairs, and go out and put her to the test on the open world and start leveling her up. Good ship. And I'll show you how she's unique as we get into this. And now that we've selected our upgrades, the last thing to do is, of course, decide how we're going to arm this particular ship. And this is where we start to see where this Gros Ventre Refit is unique, or at least unusual. Notice her middle deck. We have here 2-pounders. Now these are basically swivel guns. You can see them down here. These are the sort of guns you'll see sticking out the front of a Lerequin. And these are very unusual guns. You can see here they've got pretty terrible penetration. Their damage is not exactly fantastic, but the secret to these, the thing that makes these interesting, is notice that crew damage. 20 crew damage. That's insane. These are anti-personnel guns. And we have 16 of them lining the upper deck, the gunnels of this particular ship. So this is going to be devastating at close range against crew. We want 16 of these, so we don't have any other choice. We can't put anything else up there, so we're just going to put some 16 2-pounders up on that middle deck, like so. And then we have options as far as the rest of the armament is concerned. We can either do 9-pounders, we could do long guns if we wanted, or we could do, yes, this ship can indeed take 32-pounder carronades. There is, however, a problem with carronades. This would be a very viable option, by the way. Just stick some 32-pounders on there, and that's going to hit hard. But here's the problem with 32-pounder carronades. Notice the reload time. These are going to hit so hard, and they're going to do plenty of crew damage, so they will complement the 2-pounders. But the reload time, 81 seconds. That's a lot of reload time. These things reload in 40 seconds. That's not a huge deal, but to be honest, I'm not sure I want to have that much reload time. By contrast, if we take medium guns, we have a reload time there of 65 seconds. Now, these do very little damage by comparison, but they also will reload faster, and they will have much better chance of hitting something at a distance. And it also means I won't have to take Carronade Master when I go out to make these heavy carronades effective. I suppose I could take 24-pounder carronades and increase the reload time if I wanted to. Right, that's an option. Notice their reload of 76 seconds, so it's a little bit better. But honestly, because I want a bit more versatility, and I'm planning to do most of the damage I'm going to do at medium range as I'm closing in. I want to be able to shoot at the masts of trade ships accurately, and I want to get in close and then board right away. Honestly, I don't think there's much need for carronades on this thing. So I would recommend, personally, this is my choice, go for medium guns on the lower deck. Put your 2-pounder standard guns, of course, on the gunnels, and maybe a couple of long guns on the bow, because, of course, this is the other reason this is a great trade hunting ship, because she doesn't have stern chasers, but she does have bow chasers. So we're going to be putting, I don't have any yet, but we're going to craft a couple of 6-pounders, stick them on the front of the ship. We just need 2. I need to buy some coal first. I have been having trouble finding coal, actually, last couple of days. I don't know why it's suddenly become so scarce, but anyway. I'll have to find some coal, and then I'll craft a couple of 6-pounders, and we'll put some medium guns up there as well. I won't bore you guys with that right now. You can buy these in the shop of any port, so you won't have any trouble with that. But yes, 9-pounder mediums, and we will need 20 of them. And I'm going to go and craft myself a couple of 6-pounders as well to put on the bow. Alright guys, I've come up to Savannah on the coast of the United States, where I'm hoping to find some nice fifth rates to sink. Now, pretty much any of these ports along the Atlantic coast here, especially around Georgia and Florida, they're going to be spawning a lot of fifth rates and LGVs as well. So this is a really good place to come if you're trying to hunt for fifth rates. At the moment, most of these ports have been made available for all, which is nice. But that's a bit of a pity in a way for me at the moment, because I can't demonstrate one of the most unique features of the LGV refit, which is of course the fact that she is once again a hybrid of a trade ship and a warship. So even though she has the sailing qualities, the crew, and the firepower of a pretty reasonably sized fifth rate, she has the statistics, if you like, of a trade ship. The game treats her as a trade ship, which means as long as I don't have any warships in escort, I could take this ship out of any deep water port. She is a deep water sailor, so you can't enter shallow water ports, but any deep water port, regardless of allegiance, I can take this ship in and out of, which is why she's such a fantastic commerce raider. So just for, argument's sake, let's say I was a British player and I wanted to attack I wanted to attack Spanish ships in the Florida Strait, but there are no British ports in the area that I can see, at least on this side of the Florida Strait. Well, I can now, let's say I could set up shop at Baja here. I could duck out of here, hunt up and down this, and if I get into trouble, if I see the Spaniards starting to rally a defense out of La Habana, I can actually duck into any of these ports. I mean, obviously you want to be careful of home defense fleets, but theoretically I could go into La Habana itself and pop in and out of there at my heart's content. Same for, if I was a pirate player, which I am, I might want to hang out somewhere, I don't know, maybe down here at St. Louis, for example, or Les Cayes, and wait for ships to come past on their way to in and out of Port Royal, for example. So I can pretty much go behind enemy lines and hunt wherever I want, which would make for some very interesting PvP experiences, I'm sure. I'm not saying that this ship is necessarily meta for PvP, but it would make for some very interesting and unexpected attacks. It would be a good way to sort of spice things up, I think. Get a couple of mates and go out with 2 or 3 of these things. People will not be expecting that, so I invite you guys to experiment and keep the game interesting. The other advantage, of course, as you can see here, now that we've stored up some supplies, I've got 300 rum, I've got enough for 4 cycles of repairs of both rig and hull repairs. You can see there how much she can carry. She is technically a trade ship, so she can carry, even though she's got the crew and the firepower of a frigate, she has the cargo space of a small trader. I have the hold optimization perk, so I can carry a little bit more, but she should have a base carry weight of 1,000 units, which would make her an extremely roomy little ship. And that's the other reason you want to use her as a commerce raider far away from home waters, because you can carry so much loot in this thing. Considering you're going to be using her like a frigate, you can carry so much stuff. If you don't want to take the trade ship that you capture, you can still take pretty much all of the loot you're likely to find on it, or at least all the good stuff. So that's what makes her, in my opinion, the most unique ship in Naval Action, the most interesting ship in Naval Action. But the only thing left to do now that we've got her all ready to go is to go out and see if we can find something to sink so I can demonstrate what she could actually do in battle. Alright, well I found a Cerberus to tag. Unfortunately, this bloody AI got dragged in as well, this Trincomalee. But honestly, I'm sick of looking for something to sink and trying to wait for the AI, the friendly AI, to get out of the bloody way. So we're going to just roll with this, and I will show you what she's capable of. I don't have double shot for this build that I've set up here for the perks. Just gonna have to take this hit. Ow. And wasn't a very good tag. I was trying to avoid that Trincomalee, but it didn't work out. So we're gonna go to battle sails here, and I will demonstrate to you guys how this ship can actually fight. She's pretty maneuverable. We've got agile on this one as well, which helps. And we can now give her a volley. Swivel guns are going to be pretty ineffective at this range. Case in point, you see them bouncing there. Until we start whittling down her armor. You can see them bouncing off, but that's fine. We'll fire them anyway. Fire. They'll reload quick enough so we don't need to worry so much. And once this Cerberus starts losing its armor, we actually took our rudder out there. That's good. Turn faster, please. Once this Cerberus starts losing its armor, it's going to be hopefully a little bit easier to take out. As far as the swivel guns are concerned, they have terrible pen. We're going to get in irons if we do that. We need more sail. The swivel guns are not going to be great for anything above 100 meters, really. But at this range, they could be useful. And you can see they've already reloaded, so... She has the weather gauge of us. I'm not doing so well here. I'm just going to hang. Just going to hang here and hope that that we reload in time. We're going to take a hit. Not much I can do about it. That's fine. She missed half her broad, so let's fire now. Fire. There we go. 18 hits. 8 men dead. Not bad for a start, considering we've just started to whittle her down. Now, I know at the moment she doesn't seem particularly powerful, but with these swivel guns, with these 2-pounders, you'll notice that the damage will start to increase dramatically, especially to the crew, once you get her down to about half her armor. Once you actually start doing damage, that's when you really start to notice the unique power that these swivel guns actually have at the moment. So, one hit. You can see the shots are going through. She's firing back. 18 hits, 1 cannon, 8 crewmen. Not bad at all. This feels like a pretty squishy Cerberus. Hopefully that bloody Trincomalee won't give us too much trouble. Let's go around, actually. Let's go around, give her a volley of ball here. Oh. I don't want to get caught in irons here. Let's have some more sail, Okay, that's going through, so let's fire. And there we go, look at that. 18 hits, 17 crew, 2 cannons. You can do a lot of damage really fast in this thing. And, of course, I have enough crew that I could board quite effectively if I wanted to. Although I'm going to avoid doing that until I've got Marines. Because right now we haven't got any books to unlock. Books unlocked, I should say. The Cerberus is obviously a smaller ship than us, but if you built this ship out of something more sturdy than Bermuda Cedar, you could very happily take on similar size 5th rates. Maybe a, you know, I wouldn't take on a Trincomalee unless I knew what I was doing, but you could happily take on a Surprise or a Bell Pull, as long as you built this ship strong enough, sturdy enough to take a hit. She's gonna have stronger firepower than you. A similar size frigate will have more guns, but you're going to be similarly sturdy if you build this ship right. Let's see if we can get a few leaks. Nope, but we did take out her pumps and rudder, which is good. So that's nice. Now our friend the Trincomalee is going to help out, but I think you guys have got the idea. That's fine. Hopefully we won't get any players jumping in to this. But I do feel a little bit safer with that Trink there. Yeah, that hurt. Should we go for the stern rake? Might as well try it. She's sinking now. I'm not very good at stern raking, but we'll have a go. She's stuck in irons right now. Yeah, we've only got the swivel gun, so I'm just going to fire as we go past. Aim for the top of the deck. 5 crewmen. Now she just received a full volley of shot from the from Atrin Coblin. She's going to go down at this point, so I'm just going to call it a day here. That was a nice quick battle. I'm curious as to what this thing's made of, actually. It seemed squishier than a Cerberus ought to be, considering I'm only using 9-pounder mediums. But yeah, those 2-pounder guns you saw there earlier took out 18 or so crew, I think it was, in one volley. These, and look how quickly they reload. Look at that. You can fire quite literally 2 broadsides to their 1 of swivel gun volleys. There you go, another 7 men. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. And we're now stuck in irons, but that's fine because we have sunk the ship we set out to sink. And I think that demonstrates... Ow! She's parting kiss from the Cerberus. There we go. But she's down, and I think that demonstrates pretty well how effective this ship can be at dealing with small to medium-sized 5th rates. And of course, she's going to be an excellent trade hunting ship as well. Let's see what we've got here. Might as well check, huh? Some doubloons, fantastic. We'll need... Yeah, we'll take some more supplies, of course. Some rum. And might as well grab the tools. There's no reason why not. And I'm going to leave the French rig because I don't need it. And what was she? She was a Ragoon Teak White. Actually, a pretty good build. That's a pretty good build for that ship. But there you are. That gives you an idea of how we can use this LGV refit in the context of either a trade hunter. You'll hopefully see in the future me using this ship actually chasing down trade ships. She's quite quick. She can make over 13 knots, so she's going to be able to catch LGVs, no trouble. You can see there, even with a Bermuda Cedar S build, she's still relatively tanky for a ship that I built specifically for speed, and she is just such a beautiful and unique looking and unique performing ship. One of the more interesting ships in naval action. So hopefully that was somewhat entertaining to you guys, and you'll give this ship a whirl at some point. This has been KairoS. Thank you all very much for viewing.